Hey guys, my name's Weng, and welcome to my beginner's guide to Dragon Age Origins. So I recently started playing again after a few years, and I'd like to share some of the things that I've had to relearn while playing the game. My aim is to help not only new players, but also players like myself who are revisiting Dragon Age Origins. This is an incredible game, and I hope these tips help you get the most out of your experience. To start, we're going to head into options from the main menu. The first option you want to enable is pause at start of combat. You'll want this enabled since enemies can appear unexpectedly or suddenly come rushing towards your party. With this option enabled, your game will automatically pause once enemies appear or are detected. This will give you time to assess the situation and issue commands to your party members as needed. The next setting is subtitles, and this will just be based on your preference. By default, this is set to no subtitles. Personally, I like to set this to conversations and ambient dialogue. The most significant ambient dialogue is when your companions are having a conversation in the background. Enabling this option will show subtitles during these conversations. Next, we'll go to controls and scroll down to player controls. I have no idea why these are the default controls, but move left and move right are set to Q and E. You want to change these to A and D. If you scroll up to the camera controls, you'll see that by default A and D actually move the camera left and right. These default controls make it very awkward to move your character, and this change should make movement feel a lot more natural. We'll go ahead and make those changes. I don't use the camera movement hotkeys, but you can set these to Q and E if you want. That's it for the options, and now we'll move into the gameplay tips. The first gameplay tip is to use pause. The best way to think about Dragon Age Origins is as a turn-based game that also allows you to play in real time. If you find that you're dying a lot on normal difficulty, it's most likely because you aren't pausing enough. Pause the game and take the time to position your party and also use corners and doorways to your advantage. I would recommend focusing your priority on controlling the mage or mages in your party, as generally they have the strongest and most diverse abilities. The next tip is tactics. You can access the tactics menu at the top of the screen by clicking the crosshair icon, or alternatively clicking \, which is the default hotkey. I would recommend that you remove any default tactics for your companions, as the default tactics will result in your companions wasting their abilities. You can add or remove tactics by clicking the plus icon next to the numbers. Personally, I make minimal use of tactics as I like to have full control over spell usage. One tactic I would recommend on most, if not all of your party members, is the use of the least powerful potion when your health drops below a certain percentage. I use 50%, but you can use whatever you feel comfortable with. Next tip is to get Herbalism. Herbalism is a crafting skill that allows you to craft potions, injury kits, and other useful consumables using various ingredients you'll pick up along the way. However, it's not necessary to level Herbalism on your main character, as you'll pick up a character early in your journey who has this ability by default. As a side tip on potions, different tiers of potions have a separate cooldown if you really need to use more than one potion in quick succession. Next tip is to buy backpacks. Backpacks can only be bought at specific merchants and automatically increase your inventory capacity by 10 upon purchase. I'll leave a link to the wiki in the description, which lists all the merchants that sell backpacks. Without backpacks, you'll quickly run out of space because of all the loot in the game. Generally, it's a good idea to buy backpacks as soon as you see them, as you may not be able to return to certain places once you have left. A good example of this is early in the game, when you arrive at a place called Ostagar. You can get 2 backpacks from the quartermaster there. You can get the first one as soon as you get to Ostagar, while the second one can only be purchased once you have completed the joining. If you haven't played Dragon Age Origins before, you'll know what the joining is when you get to it. Next tip is stopping by the campfire and talking to your party members. You can talk to your companions at the campfire between missions to learn more about them. Dragon Age Origins has interesting characters with clear motivations and well fleshed out backstories. You will also earn stat boosts for characters at certain approval levels. Approval levels can fluctuate up or down based on your interactions with your party. In general, I would recommend making sure you speak with all NPCs that have conversation dialogue. This is because it is actually possible to lose the chance to recruit certain party members if you miss key interactions. Not all NPCs have conversation dialogue though, and some generic NPCs will just give you one-line replies. Next tip, quick save is your friend. Sometimes the autosave doesn't save as often as it should. If you run into an encounter and make a few small mistakes, you can easily get wiped, especially on the higher difficulties. This might set you back a bit of progress if you don't save often. You can also go back if you misclick or accidentally choose the wrong dialogue option. Choices are very important in this game, and the outcomes can vary greatly based on the decisions that you make during the course of the game. The default hotkey for quick save is F5, with F9 for quick load. Next tip is to use the Wiki. The Wiki is a great resource and should have all the information that you need. The Wiki covers all the Dragon Age games and not just Dragon Age Origins. And lastly, enjoy the game. Dragon Age Origins is an incredible game. Take the time to enjoy the game and you won't regret it. If I could choose one game to play again for the first time, hands down I would choose Dragon Age Origins. And that's it for my beginner's guide to Dragon Age Origins. I hope you find these tips useful. Leave your best tips for Dragon Age Origins in the comments. Thanks for watching and be sure to check back as I'll be uploading more Dragon Age Origins content in the near future.